Hi, this is Rachel Mathews from Successful Garden Design. Today I want to talk to you about a new plant finding tool. Now this is Right Plant For Me database, and it's a wonderful database that's free to use that will show you exactly which plants will grow well in your garden. So to use Right Plants For Me, just when you reach the home page, just click on the Search Plant Database, and that will take you to the page that you can choose what your requirements are. So if we just have a quick look through what's on offer, you can choose plants. If you happen to know their name, you can search for them here by either their Latin name, their common name, and hit the search button. But if you're looking for specific colours for flowers or foliage, you can just click on these buttons here and choose whatever particular flower you would like. So for example, if we want something with a pink flower and silvery foliage, you just click those two, and I want it to flower from here to these months if possible, and then hit search at the bottom, and then the database will bring up all the plants that fit that criteria. And then when you want to learn a little bit more about the plant, just click on the image and then you get to learn a lot more. So it'll tell you its common name, a brief description about it, but when you want to know a little bit more, there's all these buttons at the top here, so it'll tell you what type of soil it likes, whether it's hardy, the months of interest when the flowers, whether it will thrive in acid neutral soil, all the care requirements that you could possibly need, and also if it suffers from any pests and diseases, how to prune it. I mean, this is a really tremendous resource. It gives you so much information. So a big shout out and thank you to Neil Bromhall, who has spent years developing this and putting this together. He's done an absolutely tremendous job. So if you want to have any colour, you're not particularly fussed about a specific, just click on the button here that will show you the multicolours, and if you're not too bothered about which months, you don't have to fill this in at all, but you might be quite helpful if you've got an area that's a certain size to choose it by certain heights, and you can choose several heights, so it can be anywhere among those, but for this search I'll just have it about that high. And then again, if you've got a really shady spot or an awkward spot, say you've got full shade, a really sandy soil, again you can just pick whatever types you got and say we'll make this extra hard, we want evergreen. There we go, so we'll search that. I made it particularly hard, we'd only got 2 there, but that's useful to know. So let's up the search to different heights, and then we can research that again, and there you go, a lot more varieties to choose from, and then you can get more information about each plant. I hope you will get a lot of use out of this. So it's rightplantsforme.co.uk. Now if you're not in the UK, you can still use this because a lot of the plants will still be relevant, and you'll know this because it will tell you what the soil conditions are, but most importantly it will tell you how hardy it is. And whilst it doesn't appear to give the particular zones that I know you have in the US, it will still tell you how frost hardy it is down to minus 15 degrees centigrade. So obviously you just need to translate that into Fahrenheit and you're good to go. So I hope you find this site really useful. I think it's wonderful, and let me know how you get on with it. Now if you'd like to learn more than just which plants to choose for your garden with flower colour, etc., and you actually want to know how to spot the right plants in the garden centre, and also how to work out what soil conditions and what type of garden that you have in the first place, then I'd like to introduce you to the 5-Minute Plant Expert. Now this tells you everything you need to know, and there's a PDF ebook that you can download, and this will talk you through step by step how you can go about working out which are the right plants to have in your garden. And also there's videos to go with it, so tutorials on which plants best suit your soil, which suits your climate, what suits your aspect, whether your plant needs full sun, all that kind of stuff. So even if you've been a complete plant serial killer in your previous life, this is for you. So if you're completely brown-thumbed and you're hopeless with plants, this will talk you through some of the real basics that you need to know, and you know how to spot when your plants aren't happy so that you can get in there and salvage the situation quickly, and how to know which types of plants you need to buy, because what can happen is you've got you know you need plants for dry shade, but then you end up buying something like this plant that needs full sun. And what the 5-minute plant expert will do is it will teach you how to spot the telltale signs that plants need certain requirements, because plants have adapted over the years. So you'll find plants like this one here has got succulent foliage and it's got the grey coloured leaf. Now that means it has to be in full sun, because that grey helps prevent it from drying out. So if you put a plant like this in full shade, it's going to die very, very quickly. And that's the kind of information that you really need to know before you go out purchasing plants. So the 5-minute plant expert has been developed specifically to help you on your way, so you don't make those expensive mistakes down at the garden centre. And then with the video tutorials as well, they will absolutely make sure that you know exactly what you need. And also there's some worksheets that come with each of the videos that will just print off pictures so that you can see exactly what types of plants, for example, like an acid soil, or what plants like an alkaline soil. So once you learn to recognise these, you can then see that which plants you have in your garden. If you've got, for example, azaleas growing and Japanese maple, there's a good chance you've got an acid soil. So you get these sheets that you can quickly go outside, have a look, and if you've got these plants, that you know what type of soil you've got, which is critical before you go purchasing any plants. So if you'd like to learn more, just go to successfulgardendesign.com and click on the slider at the top, and you'll see a link to the 5-minute plant expert.